timeline. The authorities told us for the first few weeks that the timeline was between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. They were wrong.
Uh-oh, they were wrong. What's up, guys? True Crime King back. It's been a while since I've done a crime circus reaction. Well, it's been a while since he's done a Kohberger video. So, boom, we're starting it off with a boom on this Friday, right? All right, so the title, Kohberger is innocent. Question mark, exclamation point. Let's see what he says. I guess he thinks maybe Kohberger is innocent. Let's see, right? As you all know, I do not think he's innocent. I think he's guilty already. That's my opinion. Just with the evidence that I know about. But who knows? Maybe he can change my mind, right? I doubt it, but I'm always open to, anything, right? So here we go.
They had the whole world in a frenzy searching their surveillance videos, social media posts, and a bunch of online sleuths looking at the wrong time. They told us between 3 and 4 a.m. If they were investigating this case properly, surely they would have known between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. is when this crime actually happened.
Okay, well, to that point, what they tell us, right, is not what they're going to tell and present in court, okay? They're going to have everything down to a science, right? It doesn't matter if they're wrong telling the public information, right? They can give rough estimates to the public, right? I mean, okay, so far, nothing.
Why didn't they tell us the proper timeline in the first place? What did they have to hide? Kaylee's own sister made an appearance on the media and corrected the police department's incorrect timeline. But that's not all. The police department also made reference to an Uber driver dropping off Kaylee and Maddie in the early AM hours on November 13th. Uber came out and made a statement saying no Uber driver was involved in this case. The police department had to put out a correction saying it wasn't an Uber driver, it was a private driver.
Okay, again, private driver, Uber driver, to me, that's not a big deal. They were dropped off by somebody, right? Okay, they messed up and corrected it, right? To me, that doesn't indicate hiding anything.
Let's continue. The FBI profilers in this case were on the wrong street. Why weren't they on the right street? According to the arrest affidavit, Bryan Kohberger was on a different street. So what were they searching for on that other street near the fire hydrant?
Again, they might have been searching for something that we don't know about that's going to come out in the trial. If there is a trial, there's a gag order. They can't tell us almost everything that they know, right?
The police department said it was a targeted attack. They made the community feel safe, and then they said it wasn't targeted. And then that they weren't sure if it was the house or the people inside of the house that were targeted. In reality, they just didn't know. Was it a lie, or were they just confused? Now let's jump right back to the timeline real quick. 4 a.m. Within 24 hours of this crime, the police department had already gathered up local surveillance videos, including from the neighbor's house. So within 24 hours, they surely knew exactly what time this alleged white Hyundai was driving back and forth in front of the property. They still chose not to correct the 3 a.m. timeline to the 4 o'clock timeline until many weeks later.
Well, it's not an alleged white Elantra. It's on camera multiple times driving past the King Roadhouse with Kohberger in it. It's not allegedly, okay?
They had myself and thousands of other online sleuths looking for a 2011 to 2013 white Hyundai Elantra. Turns out, Bryan Kohberger drives a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra.
Okay, yes, the police, they messed it up. They said to the okay. They look almost identical, right? Okay. Uh, they know it now, right? Still, that has nothing to do whether Kohberger's innocent or guilty.
Yes, these cars look very similar. So why didn't they tell us to look for a 2011 to 2015 Hyundai Elantra if they just weren't 100% sure?
They're human. We're human, guys. We're not an AI machine, okay? Everybody makes mistakes, including the police, right? Let's move on.
Maybe they actually were sure. Maybe they really were looking for a 2011 to 2013 white Hyundai Elantra. Maybe things changed along the way. What are they trying to hide? Are you following what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen?
To be honest with you, I'm not. And, I don't try and turn this into me not liking, Crime Circus. I think he does a good job, right? But, I just tell it how I see it, okay? I like to debate, I think I'm good at debating, and I would debate anybody that wants to debate, okay? I debate. I don't agree with some of my subscribers and members. That's okay. It's okay to not have the same opinion, right?
Bryan Kohberger is presumed innocent and may actually be innocent.
That's what I think.
Boom. The police department and prosecution and the powers that be have not been honest or open with the families. Kaylee's father has been ticked off since day one. He wants answers and they just won't give him answers.
They can't give him answers. There's I'm gonna say this 1,000 times probably in this video, but there's a gag order, right? If the police tell one of the families might tell one of their friends, and then one of their friends might tell one of their friends, and then one of their friends might leak it out to somebody, and then that person might leak it out to the media, right? They just can't share the information. I know it's got to be frustrating for the families. I feel for them, right? But they just can't do it. It's against the law, right? It's against the law, okay?
What are they trying to hide?
They're not trying to hide anything as far as I'm concerned.
I personally do this show for the victims' families, so shout out. Moving right along.
And so do I, so shout out to the families. I'm doing this for you guys too, but I'm just giving a different opinion because I just don't agree with them.
In this super ultra interesting fast-paced video, let's take a look at the search warrant video from Bryan Kohberger's apartment. As you can see in this video right here, this is the police department searching Bryan Kohberger's apartment. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this search video. Did you see what I saw in that video? I do wonder. We didn't see anything because they're trying to hide something apparently.
Okay, well, maybe it's a really important piece of evidence that they don't want the public to know about yet, right? I mean, maybe it's a piece of evidence that that only the killer would know about, right? And they would be doing a disservice by leaking that out or letting the whole world know about that. I mean, that doesn't mean they're hiding anything, right? That just means, number one, they don't want, crazies coming out and saying that they did this. They only want the killer to know some of this information because then they'll know who the actual killer is, right? I'm still, this hasn't changed my mind one iota.
I run this worldwide international true crime YouTube channel, and I've never seen this kind of embarrassing evidence released to the public before. What is so secretive about walking through this alleged, presumably innocent man's apartment? Okay, he didn't have a shower curtain. What about it? I've stayed in some.
Okay, I agree with you there. Who cares if he had a shower curtain or not? I agree with you on that. I mean, there's no big deal about that. I agree.
Hotels that didn't have a shower curtain. It doesn't mean anything. And
Okay.
anytime I've moved into a new apartment, there's never a shower curtain included. And unless you go to the Dollar Tree, those can be about $10 to $15 at Walmart or some other store. They could be even more expensive.
Okay, but unless you, if you don't have a shower curtain, you're going to get water all over the floor. And then if you get water all over the floor and you live in an apartment, like Bryan Kohberger did, then, well, I know this from experience, it drips down to the apartment below. So, either he had an extra shower curtain or whatever that it's called on the outside and put that inside to stop the water, or he had one of those shower heads that you can turn and move and take off, right? So then water wouldn't get all over the place. But you know, not a big deal.
And was Bryan Kohberger employed? Not that we've heard, unless he was delivering for DoorDash, and that doesn't exactly pay the bills. Bryan Kohberger.
He was employed until he got arrested. He was working at Pullman, right?
Drove a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra. He wasn't driving a white Mercedes-Benz. Maybe he couldn't afford a shower curtain. No big deal. A lot of us can't afford the simple things in life.
Okay, I disagree with that totally. I know Bryan Kohberger could afford $1 for a shower curtain. And I know that's how much they cost because they sell them at the Dollar Tree. I was just there yesterday, okay? So if he can afford to drive a car, get the oil changed, maintain the car, put gas in the car, eat, drive to the Idaho campus all the time, right? He can afford a shower curtain. There's just no doubt about that.
Anyways, I've been gone from the Moscow, Idaho series for a while now, but I haven't tuned out of this case, and I've been following it every single day, researching behind
Me too.
the scenes, reading books with thousands of pages in them to further my knowledge.
Me too.
Anyways, let's start with the next boom. Anonymous sources. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have high IQs out there. My audience is super intelligent. You have
Okay, I totally agree with that. So is my audience. We have some of the same audience.
to stop believing anonymous sources. News agencies have lost a lot of credibility in this case. Other YouTubers, they'll say anything for clickbait. You have to stop believing anonymous sources.
I agree with that too. I know Tyler Feller does some clickbait with his titles. I know Drunk Turkey definitely puts out clickbait on their titles, and that's just to name a few.
Anonymous sources are a big LOL. If somebody wants to make an outrageous claim, why are they anonymous? They should give their legal government name and show their face, so their friends and family can shame them if they're caught lying.
Okay, I agree with that to an extent, right? Some people just don't want to be put on a big YouTube channel and then have all of these people that disagree with them, coming down on them. Some people dox people. If you don't know what that is, they call the SWAT team and tell them there's a hostage situation at their house, right? There's crazy people on the internet. So that's not uncommon at all for somebody to remain anonymous, right? But it would be better if they did come forward. But I can respect the fact that some people remain anonymous, right? I mean, who knows? If I was involved in one of these high-profile cases and I had information like this, I might want to remain anonymous because maybe I wouldn't want all the news stations camping out in my front yard, okay? or calling my phone every 2 minutes, 2 seconds, right? I mean, there's reasons people do all this stuff, right?
That's the thing. If you're anonymous, nobody can shame you, and you can just roll around on the floor laughing as you troll the world.
That is true. I agree with you on that. But there is truthful, anonymous sources that just everything I just said, they don't want to happen to them, okay? So there's two sides to both of this that both make sense.
Oftentimes, anonymous sources are either trolling or even worse, completely imaginary on behalf of the news agency or YouTuber.
Sometimes, not oftentimes, sometimes, okay? And sometimes they are completely credible, perfectly normal people that just want to be anonymous. And like I said, don't want everybody hounding them and calling them. And they're going to wait till the trial or the right time to give their information, right? It's just that simple. I think you're just, I forget his name, I'm sorry. But I think Crime Circus is just sometimes reaching. That's just what I think.
And I'm just keeping it real with you, ladies and gentlemen, here at Crime Circus.
And I always keep it real. So
integrity and honesty matters.
Yes, it does. That is what my whole channel is built on. Honesty and telling the truth. And that's what I do. But we have different opinions.
Because I respect you, and I know you respect me. And we keep it real here at Crime Circus and the Crime Circus cult.
And we keep it real here at True Crime King and the True Crime King family.
For those of you that don't know, I have 2 YouTube channels. The Crime Circus cult is my second YouTube channel. This is not sponsored. Moving right along. And unless it's
For those of you that don't know, I have one YouTube channel, True Crime King, and it's not sponsored either.
in a court record or a court document, it cannot be trusted or believed. But what is in the court documents is Bryan Kohberger's presumed innocent. And that's just how it is in the United States legal system.
Totally agree. He is presumed innocent until he has his trial and is proven guilty. He hasn't had his trial yet. The evidence has not been presented. They haven't had their chance to present all the evidence. And they can't tell all the evidence because there's a gag order. And even if there wasn't a gag order, they probably wouldn't share all the information anyway, right? I mean, put yourself in the detective shoes. Why would you want to tell everybody all the evidence you have, right? I mean, that wouldn't make any sense.
I'm not making it up.
Either am I.
Anybody arrested is presumed innocent.
Totally agree with you.
Bryan Kohberger hasn't been convicted of any crimes. Do you think
Yes.
it's possible that Moscow PD was too busy busting underage drinkers and people that put up stickers around town?
No, I do not. I think the FBI was called into, and they were helping with this, and every agency that they had available was on this case, and the Moscow PD had everybody working on this case 24/7 as much as they could. Okay, they're in my opinion, if they tried to hide something in this, it would already have been brought out, right? I mean, somebody from the inside would have already said something about it. That doesn't make sense. Why would they try and hide something anyway, right? There's a gag order. They cannot tell everybody all the information, all the evidence. It is against the law. I just don't know what he doesn't understand about this.
That's right, there's something known as Stickergate in Moscow, Idaho, and that case dragged on for years because a father and son team put up stickers around town, and the police and prosecution did not like that. Who knows how much money that ended up costing the taxpayers and attorney fees, and in the end, it did not end well for the defendants in Stickergate. But maybe we can talk about that another time.
Yes, please.
Anyways, was there a rush to solve this case? Maybe find a patsy from out of town that was a loner? Somebody that would...
Bryan Kohberger was not out of town. He was a 10-minute drive away. He was always at the University of Idaho, according to students from the University of Idaho that saw Kohberger there all the time, even though he didn't even go there or wasn't even employed there. He had no business being there. He was caught on camera multiple times driving past the King Road house. Okay, I mean, come on.
Would be an easy person to pin it on.
To me, this is just ridiculous. They got the DNA from the button on the knife sheath, right? Then they matched that to his father on the genealogy website, okay? Then in Pennsylvania, the cops were following Kohberger. They got his DNA from his trash, and it was 100% match to Bryan Kohberger. That's it. And for those of you that are just saying, "Oh, it's touch DNA," and it must have just magically flew underneath the button, you know, that is total baloney. Okay, first of all, look up Google. Touch DNA. Know what you're talking about if you're a creator and are going to just say, "Oh, it doesn't mean anything if it's touch DNA. Anybody could have touched it." That's total baloney. Okay, especially underneath the button on the knife sheath. Okay, if it was, let's say it was on the outside of the knife sheath, then you might have a case. Maybe I would say that you had a stronger case, right? But underneath the button, you have no case, okay? That DNA didn't just magically fly under there. The button, it's always closed, right? You have to open it. It doesn't just stay open, and then you close it when you're done. That's ridiculous. So, do your research on Touch DNA creators. Thank you. I have.
Or not. I don't know. Right now, we just don't know if Bryan Kohberger's innocent or guilty, because we certainly haven't seen a single shred of evidence that says he's guilty.
Okay, there you have it. He just said, we don't know if he's innocent or guilty, right? Like I said, I don't like my videos go much over 20 minutes. We're almost at 24 minutes. If you guys, there's still half of this video left. If you guys want me to do the second part and I get enough comments and likes on this, I'll do a second part to the rest of this video. If not, I'll move on to something else. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how, you know, about everything I just said, everything he just said. And let me know how you guys are interpreting both of our opinions and where you guys are at, right? I know we have a lot of people that watch both of us. But we have just different opinions on this, and that's okay. It's okay to have different opinions, right? And that's really all I got for today. True Crime King, out.